TimeSplitters 2 is a first-person shooter developed by Free Radical Design and published by Eidos Interactive. Chances are, if you're a fan of video games in the 90s and early 2000s, you've heard of Free Radical. In case you need a refresher though, many of the people in Free Radical also worked for Rare, who made games such as GoldenEye 007 and Perfect Dark. Those same people left Rare to form Free Radical, and they released their first game, TimeSplitters, in the year 2000. Then Free Radical released TimeSplitters 2 in 2002 for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube consoles. It continues the time-traveling adventure of the original game with new characters, levels, and gameplay mechanics. The gameplay of TimeSplitters 2 is centered around the player's ability to travel through different eras in history. The game's story mode features 10 different levels set in various time periods, including the Wild West, a futuristic robot factory, and a medieval castle. Each level is designed to be challenging and unique, with different enemy types and objectives that require the player to adapt their playstyle to each era. Each level is designed to be challenging and unique, with different enemy types and objectives that require the player to adapt their playstyle to each era. One of the strengths of TimeSplitters 2 is its replayability. Each level has multiple difficulty settings, and players can earn medals for completing levels within a certain time limit or with certain conditions, such as only using specific weapons. The game also includes a level editor that allows players to create their own custom levels and share them with other players online. To complete each level, you must recover a time crystal and enter a time portal.
Time crystal located.
On the higher difficulties, there are actual time splitters who will teleport in and try to kill you before obtaining the crystal. There are two other single-player modes in TimeSplitters 2 that include Arcade Mode and Challenge. In Arcade Mode, you take your pick of Deathmatch, Capture the Bag, Bag Tag, Monkey Assistant, and about a dozen other games that you can play against AI opponents. Challenge Mode is basically a bunch of minigames. You're tasked with doing random things such as throwing bricks through windows and defending a room against a non-stop wave of zombies. You can also go online with TimeSplitters 2 and play arcade mode death matches with your friends, but sadly not on GameCube. The game's graphics and sound design are top-notch for their time, with detailed character models and environments that make each era feel distinct. The game's music is also excellent, with a variety of genres and styles that match the different time periods. The voice acting is also noteworthy, with a talented cast that brings each character to life.
Sort of. It looks like Ultranet was a whole complex of buildings. I can drop you in the area, but you'll have to find Crow's lab by yourself.
No problem.
I think I can take it from here.
Right.
All set, Cortez. But be careful. There's a war going on.
I'm ready.
One of the most significant improvements over the original game is the addition of a robust multiplayer mode. TimeSplitters 2 features both split-screen and online multiplayer modes, with a variety of game types, including Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and Virus Mode. The game's multiplayer is highly customizable, with options to adjust the number of bots, weapons, and game rules to create a unique and enjoyable experience. However, TimeSplitters 2 is not without its flaws. The game's story mode can be quite challenging, especially on higher difficulty settings, which may turn off some players. Additionally, the game's controls can feel clunky at times, especially during fast-paced action sequences. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but it's sometimes hard to accurately aim at enemies as your arms move side to side, like arms do. But because of that realism, it's hard to lock onto enemies, and I found myself just shooting in the air, trying to aim correctly. The aim does get better when you're using the sniper rifle, so you won't have those problems in trying to kill people from far away. I also couldn't get used to the general controls. They're inverted from what I guess I'm used to. It's hard for me to press up to look down, etc. Anyways, those are just nitpicks on my part, and your mileage may vary. Overall, TimeSplitters 2 is a fantastic first-person shooter that offers a unique and enjoyable gameplay experience. Its time-traveling premise, excellent graphics and sound design, and robust multiplayer mode make it a must-play for fans of the genre. While it may not be perfect, TimeSplitters 2 is an essential game that has stood the test of time and remains a classic of the early 2000s gaming era.